The Seat Ateca is the company's first compact SUV and is available in front-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, depending on whether you want to go mud plugging or simply enjoy the SUV style and raised driving position. Seat's actually part of the Volkswagen Group, so the Ateca is largely based on the more expensive Volkswagen Tiguan, and you can see the family resemblance, both in the silhouette and in the range of engines available. But what this car offers young families above the Tiguan and indeed other compact SUVs in the market is a design with much more energy. These graphical shapes, from the daytime running LED front and rear lights to the honeycomb grille, really help the Ateca stand out and turn heads. The cabin isn't as interesting to look at as the outside, but all the controls are logically presented and the standard of fit and finish in here is really high quality. All versions benefit from 7 airbags and a driving position that can be tailored to your fit thanks to a height adjustable driver's seat and a wheel that also adjusts for height and reach. Storage is pretty decent. You've got a little bit of space in this glove box, under the central armrest and beneath the driver's seat. There's a bit more storage cubby space in these door cards for water bottles, 2 USB ports to charge your mobile phone, but annoyingly, the 2 main pair of cup holders are different sizes, so it means you and your passenger might have to have a fight over who gets the cappuccino in the morning. In the rear, there's enough head and leg room for 2 adults to sit here quite comfortably. But these outer chairs also benefit from ISOFIX mounting points and top tether anchorage to make it really easy to install a child car seat. That said, when you are testing a car like the Ateca, we'd always advise you to take your own child car seat down to the showroom and just find out what kind of a view your Mini is going to have, especially as this window line is quite high. The boot offers more useful space than a Nissan Qashqai with really easy to tumble split folding rear chairs, but if you're after a flat loading bay or a space-saving spare tyre, you'll need to add them to the options list, as this heavy recess plus tyre repair mousse are standard issue. Entry-level models receive air conditioning and alloy wheels, but the interior doesn't look its best with cloth seats and a smaller 5-inch touchscreen. If you can, we'd recommend going for the most popular Excellence trim level, which adds a high-resolution 8-inch touchscreen for all your infotainment needs, including smartphone integration. It also cherry-picks some really desirable equipment, including keyless entry and go, tinted rear windows, a reversing camera, wireless phone charger, and for a bit of glamour, branded puddle lights, which look great at night. The biggest improvement, however, is this leather trim with heated front seats, which completely transform this cabin and elevates it way above cars such as the Nissan Qashqai and Kia Sportage for premium feel. Things we're not so fussed about on the options list? The 19-inch alloy wheels. They may look sensational, but they compromise the ride on an already firm riding car. And also it's the stuff that you can't spec. The Volkswagen Group has been pretty canny in not giving the family jewels entirely to Seat. So options on the Tiguan, such as the sliding and reclining rear bench and even the brilliant trailer assist system, they all remain exclusively on the Tiguan. Because of this jacked up driving position, some SUVs are a little bit guilty of rolling around in the corners or from pitching when you go under the brakes, but the Ateca just doesn't really behave like that. In fact, this is probably one of the sweetest handling compact SUVs we've tested, keeping all those body movements in tight control, so at all times this thing feels really secure and safe and planted, regardless of what the corner's doing. There is loads of grip, even in front-wheel drive versions, and it's a quiet, refined cruiser. Now you might think a big SUV like this has to have a diesel, and while the 1.6 litre diesel is a very flexible offering, the 1.4 litre petrol we've selected might make you think twice. It's really smooth and nippy with this 6-speed manual gearbox, whisper quiet around town, and it has technology that effectively can shut down part of the engine to conserve fuel when the engine isn't being worked particularly hard. If you're going to be using this Ateca for short journeys to work, to the shops, even the school run, this is the one to get. Be wary of those official fuel consumption figures, mind. If you're the sort of person who likes spending a lot of time on the outside lane of the motorway, then you'll be lucky to see 40 miles per gallon. There is a compromise with this sweet handling too, and it's a lack of comfort. This car just isn't as comfortable or as cosseting to drive as a Nissan Qashqai or a Renault Kadjar. Big wheels have some part to play, but the suspension just doesn't seem to be able to smother any of those bumps that you regularly come across in UK roads. Things like drain covers, potholes, even speed bumps. Also, if you're after a four-wheel drive or an automatic version, then your choice is pretty confined to the bigger and pricier 2-litre diesel units. And if that's you, it might be worth investigating other rivals that offer a little bit more choice.